Valoplant thing. We're just going to show a couple of rounds and talk about it. That kind of showcased the difference between days 1 and 2 of this face-off event and day number 3. So on days 1 and 2, a lot of the gameplay from Global was sort of dominated by being hesitant and being kind of afraid to make mistakes, trying to always make the, most optimal correct play, and as a result of kind of worrying about that so much, slowing down the actual pace of play and the decision making to a point where a lot more mistakes were happening in the pursuit of trying to play too well. And the thing about Valorant is it's kind of a chaotic game, and sometimes you kind of just have to roll with the punches. So that's kind of where we're going to pick off here, which is round number 2 of Ascent. This is a situation that we've seen Global struggle with several times in the past, which is anti-eco rounds. They won the pistol, and now they are in somehow through some slight, positional errors and that type of thing, in a 3-on-5. So this is something that could go very, very wrong. And generally speaking, when you lose the anti-eco after winning the pistol, your half can kind of be ruined economically, and it can be very hard to come back into the half that way. So big kill from Kelly to start this retake off, but still a 4v3 and definitely a dangerous situation. But what we're going to see here is just kind of a really nice job by Global of turtling in the backside and just kind of locking down the site. It's not pretty. It's not the prettiest round you've ever seen, but they do get the job done, carrying over most of their weaponry that they came into the round with. And this is also going to lead us on to the second round that I wanted to show, which is round number 3. And this one is going to be particularly unique because we have the annihilation for Kelly S's Deadlock. And this is also a round that probably in the last couple of days might go a little bit poorly, because as we're going to see here, as they set up for their bonus hit into the B site, they're going to get reconned as they're setting up to throw their utility. And I think probably in the past couple of days, this would have been a spot where Global might be like, oh no, this round is ruined. They know we're all here. We have to kind of cancel this play. We have to maybe think about re-clearing space or going to the other side of the map. But the call was made, let's go B. And realistically, if they go right now, it's not going to be that big of a deal, because yes, they have given away a bunch of information, but there has not been enough time for the A players for Rare Adam to rotate over. So as long as they actually just go right this second and go decisively onto the B site, they still have a 5-on-2. So what's going to happen here is immediately Global is just going to go ahead and trigger the execute. They're going to get in, they're going to wall off spawn. Crystal hits a nice little shot onto the Sova on the backside of BT spawn, and then Kelly S uses the Deadlock ultimate to yank the Killjoy out of the site. Now this is a huge
I like pink. As Sam said that time, clothes.
प्रेस मत करो उसको, ऐसे रहना।
क्या पागल है क्या?
प्रेस मत कर।
क्यों?
छूटे मेरा डैंड्रफ है, तेरा बाल खराब हो जाएगा।
हाय हाय।
तू पढ़ रहा, तुझे ये नहीं पता कि किसके नोट्स हैं? कंट्रोल सिस्टम के मैं भूल गया। VCT का क्या सीन है?
Shouldn't make this, sounds wavy. Caught from the hunting, I met that bang. Rise and 10, I hate when I'm close and I hunting jams. So I keep a Remy on man. Dot team tryna lift up man. They keep like Jackie Chan, but be like Cardi, I don't want Nani. I just wanna lock this whap in the deal with both like Panda Pope. Bro was working in Paris, press them a door and whip the snow. Man try mess and get violent, they go from the riding. I was with bro telling residents go to the pagan boys stop hiding. I was locked up and the gang was riding. I came fresh home and I up that mileage. Ding dong swerving up block lurking. Bros amped up, I'm in a back with Salem. Yeah, my dog, that's Stewie and Brian. More like Eddie. I got M's on my mind like million. Nothing but intention to put him on top. That's one eye closed like Fetty. A man got left ugly like Betty. I still pop them doors confetti. They see me and turn soft like jelly. I'm running around like it's Tom and Jerry. We brought pagan boys in blue. Imperial on box of copper. And they still fuck the boys in blue. The feds won't get off my deal like a tosser. Caught from the hunting, I met that bang. Rise and 10, I hate when I'm close and the hunting jams. So I keep a Remy on man. Dot team tryna lift up man. They keep like Jackie Chan, but be like Cardi, I don't want Nani. I just wanna lock this whap. Caught from the hunting, I met that bang.
Hey Patreon, it's Max from the OTV crew. Welcome to our Shanghai travel poop. If you didn't know, the OTV members and crew recently traveled to Shanghai, China to film some content.
I think he works with.
Yeah, I mean, it's giving, I thought I was insane for a while.
ये तुम्हारा नहीं है। नहीं है, हमारा नहीं है। नहीं है, तुम्हारा पक्का नहीं।
HyperX is a team in the VCT Pacific League that has gotten very close to winning an international trophy. However, after coming up short in multiple grand finals and multiple different top 3 appearances at international tournaments, they have not been able to get the job done. And after a 2024 season in the VCT not going as well as previous years, is this team past their prime? They did opt to keep their roster the exact same, not making any changes by either roster or coach, so they did decide to go the run it back option. But was that the right option, and can this team finally win in 2025?
그래서 오늘은 민서가 연기를 할 거야.
아, 모르는 척? 아는 척?
모르는 척. 민서 앞에 누가 나타나든 볼 수도 있잖아.
아, 하늘만큼 땅만큼 보고 싶습니다. 진짜로. 진짜 너무너무 제가 좋아하고요.
저 혹시 누군지 아세요, 혹시? 몰라요?
모르겠어요.
와, 저 한 번도 본 적 없어요?
네.
저는 아이유라고.
죄송해요, 제가 너무 몰라갖고.
아니에요. 아유, 근데 PD님이 만에 하나 모르실 수도 있다. 모르시면 그러면 그냥 끝나는 거라고 말씀을 하셔가지고.
Starting from zero in JavaScript.
Bulk. Let's see this.
Is up, YouTube, and welcome to.
Imagine that this folder is a dimensional plane. Now, assuming that it is no height and no depth.
You had the booger keyboard, the booger mouse. You had the booger keyboard, the booger mouse.
Fucking break my computer, bro. Stop fucking freezing. Shoot him! He's wide peeking me!
Raise, make up that smoke. He came through, get down there.
Spike down, mid. Last player
I'm
standing.
done with baiters, bro. I'm done. Oh, no, it's because if they're already on side, it's not that good, but.
Okay, so then don't throw that dart. Maybe next time just like come here, do your little dart above the little.
How about you shut your fucking mouth and get fucking kills
I'm
next
sorry,
time.
Sorry, sir.
Use your fucking gun and aim correctly, you fucking ugly ass piece of shit. How about that? Ready up. Yo, Prod, instead of baiting by jumping backwards and shit,
baiting?
can you
I'm literally
go
knife
forward?
out running in front of you. What are you saying?
Yeah, how did I get in front of you then? How did I get in front of you then? Let me know. Let me know. How did I get in front of you? You tell me.
Fucking in front of you, how fast I'm going, and you can't even kill him with a gun out. You were
the first one rotating. How did I get in front of you? Don't lie. How did I get in front of you?
I literally have my knife out.
Literally brain dead. Fucking terrible player.
Holy fuck.
It's so brain dead, bro. How do you fucking jump backwards to bait on purpose, like, and pretend like you're going forward while doing it? Like you're bunny hopping backwards and shit.
If I'm not arguing there, I literally killed you guys.
Just go forward, bro. Let me bait you. You're 4-9 right now. Just let me bait you, bro. Oh my god, I'm fucking crying, bro. Oh.
One enemy remaining.
I'm fucking crying, bro. He's one. 45 HP, 45.
Oh, you're lying, bro.
45! Oh, you're... Nice.
Thanks God. I'm not gonna play with you anymore, guys. GG.
You don't have a
guys
choice.
You fucking baited me! Shut the fuck up!
Shy.
You guys, I report all of you because you guys win.
Yeah, too bad we had Ellie and a fucking Zenyatta who didn't switch until 3rd point and got picked every fight and didn't use ult in our net and our Ana didn't even fucking nano a right person that game. Until there was 4 minutes on last point at the very end. I really suggest all one of you idiots to uninstall.
Ults! We have 4! The game is over! What? They had 4 ults. They actually had 4 ults. They just start using them now so I don't fucking...
Rated player, I think across any tournament whatsoever they've played. He's been the most consistent. He's the clutch king. Everybody knows that. He's proving that in G as well for the last 3 days. He's had some pretty insane clutches as well. And I'm excited to see how he's going to progress as we head into, you know, kickoff in the start of the season next year.
Okay, Universe, I really want to question you. I mean, you work very closely with Global Esports, obviously.
Yeah.
So, you know, coming into this season as well, right? I think this is a big shift as well. You have coaches from Americas come through. You have players from, you know, from Philippines as well as DOS9 from Kazakhstan. So, like, what's the dynamic like that you've seen? I mean, obviously, for most part, I think APAC has an APAC mindset. Americas has an Americas mindset. How is it going? You know what? Let's just ask Juvenile what he thinks, because why would I ask you, right, Universe? So on to Juvenile.
All right.
I'm sorry, Universe. Let's go to Juvenile. Okay, 10 seconds to go. Okay, you know what? I got too excited here. But you know what? One word to describe it.
Nah, I'm not giving you anything. We're just gonna go ahead.
Come on, Universe! I'm sorry!
It's alright. I'm pretty sure Jimmy's got some words.
Yeah, he probably has something. Hi, Juvenile!
Hey guys.
Okay,
how you guys doing?
So you know what? I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. You know what, Universe? I'm excited. Usually they never ask us how we're doing. It's always how they're doing.
He's
you know
a really nice guy.
Thank you. I still feel so honored. Okay, so Juvenile, I'm so sorry, Universe. I'm gonna kind of like just go crazy for a bit because, you know, I've known Juvenile for quite some time now. He did coach in MYSG for a tiny bit, kind of helping out the teams in challengers, and you know, now you just hop, and then I think you've done quite a bit as well in Americas, and now you're here in APAC. I mean, obviously, I was quite shocked hearing that you decided to swap for Leviathan into Global Esports, and I'm sure there's a lot of challenges you had to face, you know, coming into this team. So share with me a little bit that you faced so far in terms of mentality from Americas shifting to APAC. I cannot hear you.
I think you're muted. Yeah, you're good now. I think you're good now.
Good now? Okay, they muted me because I didn't touch it.
Awesome.
So you guys had me muted. All right. So yeah.
the changes, not blaming you, but yeah, the changes that have been happening from NA to APAC. Obviously, I coached with APAC region a little while with Orglis, like you're mentioning, and split one of challengers last year, and so I already knew the mindset of the players and how it was to coach players in APAC, and that's something I was really excited to do. And so yeah, like I was really excited for the move. There hasn't really been many challenges besides moving halfway across the world, but outside of that, man, everything's been amazing. Everything's been perfect.
Well, Jimmy, we've seen across the last 3 days, there's been a lot of downs, but there's been significant ups as well. Yesterday was a great day for you guys. And I wanted to ask you, Boom Esports now, I think right now is the biggest challenge across all 3 days that at least in terms of the team stature, right? They just came off of a fresh win in the Indonesian region where they played the Predator League, and, they beat Alter Ego 2-0. What are you expecting from Boom Esports with this slight bit of a new change? They've got Lilo in and Dostline as well, who was a great asset from South Asia. What do you think about this team? Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I think we scrimmed them once or twice. Obviously, they're really good. They played SPG really close, and I don't know if you guys have known, but I think I rate SPG very highly. And so the fact that they played SPG very close in Ascension, I mean, obviously they're going to be very good, even with 2 changes. I don't think there's necessarily any downgrades that they made. So, yeah, I'm expecting a good match, and I expect them to play to the similar level as Nous did, to be honest with you. We just got to play better today.
All right, so I'm curious to see, kind of coming through, I think these are all tier 2 players adjusting to tier 1, right? I think Papi did mention earlier, it was quite overwhelming trying to adjust. So like, how's the process been trying to get them adjusted into a higher, I would say mechanical, higher mindset style play?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the mechanical. The mechanical skill of Tier 2 is just as good as Tier 1. Like, I've already said this multiple times, but the gap between Tier 2 and Tier 1 is not that big mechanically. Everyone can shoot heads in this game. It's very easy. Aiming is very easy in this game. And so the difference in aim between Tier 2 and Tier 1 is not that large. The biggest difference is mentality, and then also just, like, the fundamentals, man. That's something that we preach crazy in Lev, and that's something that I've brought here to GE is, like, the fundies, right? Trading, spacing, scaling, just the small stuff, and being proactive on defense, all these kind of things. That's something that they're all getting used to. They're all trying to improve at, and it's definitely going to be a process. I mean, they're learning and they're picking up new stuff every single day, and I feel like, I think you'll keep seeing a better version of GE as we continue to get those things down and they become second nature, right? They're good at them, but the biggest thing is like being able to be good at them and do those things still when you're under pressure and not defaulting into more of an individualistic. Oh my God, can't even say that word. I can't say that word. Being too individual, all right? You guys got it.
Yeah. All right. Final question, Jimmy, for you is going to be, Boom in that recent tournament, they banned Sunset pretty heavy. They are not seemingly very confident with it, but they've been solid on Bind and Haven. Considering that, it kind of course, is a little away from what you've been playing. Bind, we've not seen yet. So I'm going to ask you, are we going to see another curveball like yesterday where you outright went and banned Sunset, picked Ascent, or is it going to be something that you continue to show where your strengths are?
Yeah, I mean, you have to wait and see. You're about to find out in like 2 seconds. But yeah, we'll be, I don't know. We're open to playing every map. I told you, we don't have a perma ban. So we're definitely open to playing any map, and whatever the map pool is, we're going to be ready. No excuses.
Okay, so you mentioned that you don't have a permaban, and I am really curious, how long does it take for you to prep for a single map, and what's the process like?
Realistically, it takes about 3-4 days per map.
That's short?
Yeah, to get the basics down, to get your basics down, to have a little thing. But for an entire map pool, for us to be ready on the entire map pool, for us to have all our protocols down, for us to have everything down, 3 months total. We should be pretty set as far as like having an understanding of what we want to do no matter what happens on the map.
All right, thank you so much, Juvenile. After this, you're going to go straight to game, so good luck to you. This is undoubtedly going to be one of the most challenging teams, and good luck, Jayu.
Thank you, GE winning, boys.
All right, straight. Oh, I like the veto.
Hello, Juvi. Hi, Six Fingers.
Hello.
So first of all, before I proceed with the veto, Six Fingers and Boom Esports, from behalf of the whole global esports family, I would like to welcome you guys in the VCT Pacific League. Welcome, guys. It's going to be a fun ride ahead. And yeah, moving to the most important part of today's game, the map veto. Again, like usual, this is going to be tails, This is going to be heads. Who's going to call? I'm going to let the two of you decide who will call this one.
Let the visitors do it every single time. I'm good with that.
Okay, perfect. Six fingers, what do you call? Heads or tails?
Tails, tails.
Tails it is. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to ban first or do you want to select the side?
I'm gonna ban second.
You're going to ban second. So the first ban goes to. Okay, the ban goes to Juvenile from Global Esports.
Yeah, we're gonna ban Pearl.
Pearl is now banned by Global Esports. Six fingers, go ahead. You're banned.
We ban Sunset.
Sunset is banned by Boom. Juvie, you pick.
Okay. Pick a set.
Pick Ascent. Six fingers aside on Ascent.
City. Defending.
Defending. Okay, defending. You go for defending. Perfect. Next map pick, guys.
I think we gotta go for a split.
You're gonna go for split. Perfect. Split pick by Boom. Juvie, what's going to be the side? G is going to be playing it starting at?
Split defense.
Split defense. Okay, next ban, guys. Come on, Juvie, your ban.
Let's ban Abyss.
Okay, Abyss is banned. Final two map remain. Which one are you going to ban?
Ban Haven.
Okay, you're banning Haven. That leaves us with Bind. Perfect. So I'm going to see you with the casters shortly. Best luck for the games. Bye bye. Casters, take it away.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Dang. Okay,
Are you guys happy with that map pool?
Juvenile. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy.
I mean, it's the exact same one from yesterday, right? We've got to send, split, and bind.
I can't make teams pick maps.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I was actually expecting Boom to pick bind, right? So them picking split is an interesting one because I don't think they've played split so far with this new roster. But Juvie, all the best once again. I'm hoping to see the exact same performance as yesterday, to see it today. So all the best, and to the team as well. Good luck.
Bye-bye, guys.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh man, I'm excited. So this is my first time being here watching them play. So I have seen their games. I have a bit of idea what to expect. So, honestly, looking at what we're seeing today, what are you thinking, Universe?
I am expecting Global Esports to dominate Ascent as they did yesterday as well. They play that comp really well. They've got a great idea about it. I think Boom Esports, of course, must have watching their game yesterday, but I still feel like adapting to that kind of game style is going to be difficult up front of how they play. They play that push and pull system really well, the triple stack of contact burst, and then, instantly attack another part of the map. League of Indonesia, and they did win 13-11, but they did play a single duelist there with Raze and a Sky and Viper double controller with the Omen as well. So it's gonna be an interesting split map. How they're gonna, adapt, how Global Esports are gonna a single duelist there. With Raze and a Sky and Viper.
Pretty much a different roster. It's still not going to be the same. There's a lot of adaptations that's changed since then. And I think if you guys did catch them play Predator League Indonesia, I think it's also very exciting to see what they've been able to offer, because for a while now, if you guys watch Ultra Ego versus Boom, it's always been very close. There are moments where Ultra Ego would come up on top, but this time it didn't even feel close, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it was a little, top-ended, and I'm okay with that because Boom Esports have been playing really well. I'm honest, it's just a roster, right? You've got some great players who deserve to be in that tier 1 for quite some time.
It's not just about roster. I think it's also about dynamics. I think we saw NRG last year, right? They were collecting all of the super players, put them all in one team, and everyone's like, oh my god, this is definitely 100% NRG's year. But the one biggest problem that NRG has is that they cannot find that chemistry. However, we
Yeah.
have these tier 2 teams who know each other quite well, who's played with each other for quite well as well, you know, and, you know, it's like what Papi said just now. He would rather be in a team that plays as together as a team than to play individual wise, because you know that your team has your back. You know that your teammates can step up when push comes to shove. And that's what I really want to see from this team today, especially against Boom Esports. We all know that Boom Esports, one big factor they had during Ascension was that home crowd buff. They went insane for that. But at the end of the day, you know, coming into this one, they don't have that buff. There's a different situation, a different moment. Is the mindset going to be the same?
Well, we're gonna have to, you know, find out in the game itself. You know, I know for a fact that, you know, that man, DOS9 is a mentality monster. He does not give up no matter what. And Boom Esports have probably picked him up because of that same trait being across their entire team. Berserk, Shiro, they've been mentality kings. That's the only reason they were able to make that 5th map in Ascension happen, you know, because they don't give up. And of course, the crowd buff was there for them. But I still feel like Boom Esports are really good when they know how to play around a certain map. They know how to make comebacks happen. They know how to, you know, kind of put themselves in positions where they will be pressuring the opponent team into making mistakes and then just capitalizing upon the teeny tiniest of advantages that they find. So I'm going to expect Esports to put up a great fight on Ascent, at least better than we did see from where Adam is today, because they lost 13-1 on Ascent, which was, you know, a heartbreaking loss. But today, it's going to be completely different. And we're going to see how their first Ascent map looks like. They haven't played Ascent with this game, with this map. We'll go to the agent select straight up, ladies and gentlemen. Is it going to be meta comp for Boom Esports? Let's find out.
Yeah, coming into this one, well, we're seeing a Cypher Lock come through. So I've casted a few Cypher Lock games, and I think one of the most important parts is to get as many rounds as you can on the defense side. That's number one. That's key. And number two, the way you approach attack is a very, very slow base, is very default heavy, and they need to be able to survive that. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to, because even without those abilities that Julius has, one thing that this new GE roster has is that aim is the firepower.
Yeah, indeed. You know, that firepower clearly you know, sits into a really good place, because you've got some great clutch masters here. Crystal, you've got Papi, you've got Yuratan as well. Kellius leads the line from the front. He had a great showing on that deadlock yesterday, and I really expect him to continue on that track, because he did not miss a single ultimate hit. That annihilation struck lightning every single time. And even though you had Patrick could not do as much work in terms of numbers, his team overall covered up so well because of the space that he was able to provide for them every time dashing into the side. He took the attention on him for just about enough time, 2, maybe 3 seconds, enough for Global Esports to flood into the side and make the opposition feel uncomfortable. Boom are going to stick to the usual. They're going to go for that, you know, usual comp on Ascent. It is the meta comp. You're going to have the KO, you're going to have the Cypher, Omen, and of course, followed up with Famous Jet. And Famous Zine, of course, he is an extremely good player. Can Patrick stand up to this experienced duelist from Indonesia is the big question right now.
Yeah, I mean, for Famous as well, coming in, I think for a while now I've been watching him, and I've loved seeing his growth. He's a very, very, I would say, dynamic player. He started to pick up a lot more new duelists as well. His performance in Ascension was phenomenal. The way he takes up space, the aggression he puts in, and if there was one word that I could describe Boom Esports if I watched when I watched them during Ascension, is that they are the type of team that are very not only aggressive, but they're almost like a bull. They're almost like a bull. They just hit hard and they hit very, very rough. The question is whether or not adaptation from GE can change that. But ladies and gentlemen, map 1 Ascent is here. Boom Esports, Global Esports, the first one, or technically a tier 1 tournament so far.
Yeah, more or less. Boom Esports now starting, of course, on the defense. Look for an early A control. They've gotten to their solid there. It's pretty much the usual default you see from any team. The KO supporting up with the Jet, setting him up in vines as it's going to be Boom Esports just slowly crawling into mid, which, by the way, right now is open. Just a camera contact from Berserks here, and he knows that they're going to be playing on contact. Out they go, Global Esports. B-main's going to be pressured now, as there's going to come in Kelly as he's the first one. Yep.
It's huge. Shiro here, sharp as ever. Yokam answers. Now the rest of the team, Boom Esports, finding a way to go for that retake. One end has been closed down by that wall, but the rest safely on the side already. GE successful with not only kind of going through that choke, but getting onto the side itself, and Famous forced to delay his push just a bit because of that wall.
Yeah, that was
all eyes on the site itself as they make one area pretty much hard to see as a recon comes through. Boom Esports gonna slowly make their way onto lane here. Eyes onto Yokam, puts in the damage. 1, 2, 3. Wow! It looks so good right now. So quick.
Quick indeed. That B split with that wall down towards the spawn region to just delay. You can't even go for the pistol bullets there because it's gonna just kind of waste so much time and bullets for you to get into that retake. Amazing stuff from Kelly S there. That is a great setup to just delay that rotation as much as possible, and it just gave Global Esports enough time to get the plant down and also make the rest of Boom, who are waiting for Famazine to come in, just kind of wait and mark it and not go ahead because they cannot go without their full force. Great stuff. Early recon here from the B site to just clear out lines from Global Esports. That's a great recon. I love seeing that. Just to maybe give out a little bit of clearance. But there is a very deep push here from DOS9. That smoke, a little imperfect, but on purpose it seems. And that time's going to detect him out. He needs to get back out of here. No, never mind. It was actually from the opponent side. My bad. I just kind of missed it. I thought the KO was
sorry.
Not going to connect.
Yeah, not going to be able to do that. That triple peak was a bit much to deal with. They got that ultimate orb as well, just to put them a little bit more closer to something that can give a bit more punch in terms of space taking. But the way Global Esports is approaching this map is so methodical. But is their engagement that really makes it so exciting? It's so explosive. It's so quick.
Crystal looking to go and set up his duelist once again towards that A site now. The recons, of course, recharge. He's got 3 here with him. But NC Slasher's knife could just kind of throw things into the mix. Yep, the minute that drone goes out, it's gonna be Crystal and 3 more suppressed here. But Global Esports quick to run in once again. That wall causing trouble for Famous. He's gonna stuck out here with the Bucky, and in they go.
Oh, that's so quick. Berserk's only with 10 HP left, but it's Yokam that has just been so quick to take up that space, so quick to just W key forward. And he's not done. Shiro finding himself running for his life. Any info he can play with. Spots one out, takes a lot of HP. Nova Pulse as well to push him out the way here. He's pulled already. A right click to the face, and it's Yokam's entire side. And we're just here.
Yeah, the beauty of the region shield being exposed there as well. Every time you put it on, you've basically got 75 shield, more or less. And it's going to be giving you 25 every single time.
Honestly, I think it's honestly been so surprising, Yokam and how he takes up that space. We talked about explosiveness, right? We talked about space-taking potential. And the way he does it is that he's able to take out kills and just really get away with it, not punished.
Yep. It's come out, and now it's time for the entry for Global Esports.
Yokam already on site. Great Storm out. The other members of Boom Esports finding it so hard to get on the site because of that wall. Now, on this side, it's just chip damage around here. Blind pushes forward. Did manage to put a lot of damage onto Udotan. And GE once again playing on the site itself here. Sensor set up already, but Yokam wants to be that first contact. And when peaks, their head will get blown off here. Boom Esports delayed by so many utilities. Flash up as well inside, but Udotan Cam to be a little bit more aggressive. No escape. Paranoia's out, doesn't hit anyone quite yet. Yokam will be detected. And NC Slasher forced to buy time. Kelly S for what? NC Slasher to answer. But they're all stuck in the back house. It's so hard to play this. Famous in for 2. One more person left. Udotan playing quietly in the corner. He finds the heads. But do they get a defuse? And barely makes it. Boom Esports.
Wow.
Not able to take the round. That's 3 in a row, and Global Esports take that bonus.
That is actually crazy. The fact that Yuratan survived there for that long. They killed 2 people backside, and they thought, okay, maybe there's only 2 more there. Yuratan definitely has to
I'm
deal
surprised
with
I didn't see him.
Yeah, no, they didn't go for it because they killed 2 backside, right? They're like, of course, there's not going to be a 3rd there. But the original winner of this round was the fact that they just kept Patrick in the front lines. His knives could have been a changing point, of course, but that anti-slasher knife threw him back. Global Esports got followed to the backside, but they played so well, keeping the fact that Yuratan is still on high hidden. That worked perfectly to their favor, and that's given Global a 3rd.
More aggressive stance. The wire gets broken already, but this time Famous taking a more proactive, aggressive stance here by the wire. Shiro's already gotten 1 hit.
Here.
Oh, he saw that head go by, but he doesn't know that Famazine is still on the extreme close corner here. Famazine could get a little antsy about peeking this angle. He is considering it, has been moving back and forth, but here comes a drone to kind of make Patrick feel uncomfortable. He's not been, now he's been spotted, but here goes the bucket!
Oh, that is disgusting. Oh, that was so disgusting. The way they played that for Boom Esports, that was perfect. But Kelly, yes, he's got other ideas. Quick to find Berserk.
1 enemy remaining.
Still play the mid-side area.
Spike
Boom
down,
Esports
B.
doing a great job of holding down that site, playing on the site itself. Not taking these head-on
30
fights.
seconds left.
And letting the fights go to them. Crystal here on the front line. A double swing, but not happening quite yet. Famous to go down. Crystal 43 left. He still puts in the damage. Crystal! Waiting patiently. 1 versus 1. He is so low. A thrifty win from Boom Esports. They finally got 1 point on the board.
For Global Esports in this game, and of course this eco is going to hurt them a little bit, at least not economically, but in the fact that they should have won this round. But that mid hit kind of, you know, suffocated Patrick. If he hadn't been left alone there with that outlaw, it's such a deep position, I think he would have been fine, because the only problem was there was the fact that he had an outlaw to, you know, fight off multiple angles.
That goes there.
And now, Global Esports looking once again to that B side. All 5 of them present here, by the way. And aggression now coming in from Famazine. He's gotten an idea that this is going to be a B hit. He's crawled all the way on catwalk. And Global Esports instantly react by taking the B side all the way to them. The door's been closed, the wall's been attacked, and the B side is now exposed to the plant.
I love the fact that Global Esports has managed to really condition Boom Esports that it's going to be a mid-side hit. They're in position, but Global Esports already understood that it's going to be a change in pace. They were able to get on the site so quickly. Hunter's Fury up already. Boom Esports is going to find one. Urotaba Yokam, he puts in the damage, puts in the hurt too to his name. Still, Berserk's gonna get netted here. As Kalias watching the back of sight. Hero Theft will eventually give them away, but here comes Annihilation as well. Gonna be able to pull in Famous. He can't go, he can't run. His teammate tries to save him, but you can't do more than that as Berserk's putting in the numbers. 3 to his name, but the swing from Crystal, it's so good. Classic in hand. He's buying some time. Berserk's is so low right now. A right click to the face, 4 to his name, but time not on his side. Poppy just delays, gets him in the end. 4 for Global Esports. Whatever it is that they've been doing, it looks so good right now.
Yeah, the biggest win condition once again here being first the 2 kills from Patrick, and then that annihilation from Kelly. Again, it connects at the right place at the right time. Even though the trade came in there, of course, they had the win condition for the very last second. There were 3 layers of win conditions here being established by Global Esports. The last one, of course, on the line being Poppy with that pull and wasting time as much as possible in a spammable angle as well from Market. Really good stuff. Playing different layers of post-plan. Amazing, amazing intricacies here being displayed by this GE team. This time, Boom Esports looking for a little aggressive B controllers team. They've sent Shiro forward, and he's at the moment a little bit alone. He can isolate it, and he will. Yutatan just absolutely slaps him in the face, and that's going to throw Boom in a bit of a mix.
Foolish. Yutan's not done.
I know exactly where you are.
Anyone to challenge him just gets shot in the face, and I'm just quite surprised that they're taking these fights one by one. We've already heard about the reputation that Wudotan has, but seeing it in action is amazing. He's got 3 already. To get more space here. Boom Esports plays a bit more quietly this corner than
enemy remaining.
4 out
does.
of 5.
Give him the ace. Come on.
Plant to come through. Potential
Spike
ace as
planted.
well. And NC Slasher knows he's gonna try at least deny that ace. Eyes on the prize here. Up in the mid area. Chip damage through. Here comes the flash. He moves backwards. And Cali, yes. Come on now, Cali! Cali!
You know, Yudo had a really great clip yesterday with that rope jump. I'm not sure if you had a moment to catch it across the tripwire. One of the best plays, I believe, if not.
Wait, I saw it. I saw it.
Plays in APAC history, even if it's just a show match thing. It was amazing, a 1v2 clutch. And now with the ace here, he's you know, he's a little disappointed, but it's all right. The team's doing well, and that's all we, you know, want to see from them. And a little bit of a timeout here. I believe this is from Boom Esports. It has to be. I think Six Fingers clearly not happy with the fact that, you know, the way they've been playing, the isolations have been a little aggressive, especially in this round. I feel like Berserks and Shiro should have gone for that pick together instead of, you know, kind of going one by one and giving
Going one by one, yeah.
And Yudatan's been doing this yesterday as well, right? He was kind of the, you know, the menace on the B main side every time Global Esports wanted to hit A. Even if when they wanted to hit B, Yudatan's always outside of B every single round. Unless, of course, it's a different, you know, execute that comes in, which is an anomaly. So he is kind of the anchor for the entire mid and B region. And he's been doing an amazing job at keeping it in his hands. And if you give him free kills like this, the new ult left opens up every now and then. Even if it has been nerfed to 7, the ult orbs now from 6, he is going to charge it up really quickly. This, though, should be an interesting round for Boom Esports. They've got 3 big ultimates right now. 2 are really retake-heavy kind of ultimates. Of course, you've got the KO and the Sova. And they've got the Odin out as well this time. So they're hoping that if the B main side is going to be contested, Shiro's going to have a contingency plan. He's already shown his hand there, as DOS9 is going to deny any sort of aim and information except for just breaking that dart.
Take flight.
More aggressive stance this time. No, sorry, excuse me, passive stance. They're not going to try and challenge Yudotan this time, but instead, they're going to try and push him out the way with that drone. And with that info, you can see Famous silently just taking up that space. Preparing for him. Recon as well. Yokam, full control of Pizza already, but getting onto the side, that chokehold could give a lot of value for that Odin.
He's traveling in deep. Look at that map. He's gone in all the way to their spawn. And Shiro, he's got no idea. There is an eye. I think there's a call being made right now for the Cypher to come and check it out. Berserks is going to come and take a look. And he's seen the deadlock wall there. But Yuratan, he's now going to go in for his own little check and Famous!
Oh, that was huge. Understanding that it's going to be a bit of curiosity come through, and they were prepped for it. So that was a good set play coming in from Boom Esports. But Berserk's eyes over in this area, knows there's 2, moves out the way. He's not challenging that. And now depth forward here, Yokam. He wants to take blood, he wants to draw it. He puts in the damage onto Berserk's. Boom Esports forced onto their own side here, can play inside of the smokes itself. And DOS9, he's so quick to find Kelly. Yes, Boom Esports, they get 2 to their name, but stuck underneath of hell, but Famous in the end has that moment of respite to answer back. Now Boom Esports this time around gonna find a bit of value from the timeout.
Yeah, it almost seemed like Global Esports got a little confused about where exactly they want to head out. That wall towards A seemed like it's going to be a B hit. But unfortunately, the minute they lost Yuratan towards that B main side, Famous got 2 there, actually. Instantly, the call was made, all right, we're going to head back. We're going to go towards A. Then they tried and, you know, kind of improvise on a strat that they've done before, is where they do that triple split of going from Garden to A Heaven and then short as well as A main. Of course, a lot too few to maybe execute that, and they were not successful with it because Famazine seems like he's gonna have some worse to say. charge of this game initially now, and Odin also being blocked from Crystal, and he's known for it pretty well. You know, even in China.
They're just trading Odin shots, man. They're just damaging both of each other. Oh my goodness.
Best form of Valorant ever. And for the moment, I think he's just exchanging pieces of util right now. Global Esports doing a good. Global Esports actually right now doing a good job of baiting out as much as they can from Boom Esports. And I'm not sure if they know that Poppy's actually crawled into this corner because the smoke's gone on the other side. A double peek here would be paramount.
Poppy? Oh, good for one. He's short, but Daw's gonna deny more damage being done. Does have that Regent shield as well to get a little bit more of a shield up again, but it doesn't negate the damage that's been done here. Crystal, sharp as ever. Find it. Yokam already on the side. Moves out the way. Insane movement to give Crystal a bit of time. Just get the last pick here. Speaking of that, last two members of Boom Esports to find out, but call to save from Boom might be the name of the game here.
That little mismovement from Patrick actually saved him because he was trying to get on top of the gen, but he slipped, I feel, because he missed it by just an inch. And then Crystal swung out for the perfect timing to get that kill.
That's the teamwork, right? That Poppy was talking about before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, teamwork.
I mean, it's not really about like just it's those tiny little intricacies is what I like to see here. It's just more of like you know, it's more about like, you know, what you expect from your teammates. If chemistry is good, how do you double swing together? When your teammates moving this way, are you gonna move together as well? And that's what we want to see in terms of that. But speaking of teamwork here, we need your teamwork from the viewers at home to like and subscribe so we're able to build not only a community but also a team of viewers, fans, and everyone that, you know, we can be proud of. And speaking of being proud of, Unique, can I ask you a question?
Yep.
Why is there like a police light playing in the GE house? Like, what's the vibe there?
It's not a police light. So they've tried to simulate, you know, the lights that they usually see on the VCT Pacific stage. So Juvie is trying to create as much of a, you know, professional BO3 environment as he can. He's got fan, you know, sounds playing in the background for them. You know, trying to maybe, you know, get them as much distraction as possible with those lights as well flashing in their faces. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's, you know, to give them the experience of how it is to be on the stage because they have not played, you know, an off season on LAN so far. But this time, we can talk about it later. Boom Esports went for an aggressive mid take. They did chop off a lot of information from Global Esports, finding out where these players are, but they pushed them back as well. The knife went in deep towards B, and Boom instantly actually kind of relinquish that control towards mid. They're not too keen on keeping it in their hands. They're gonna let Global Esports come back into that cavity, but here goes Famazine on the back of a flash, and that was amazing mechanics from him.
He just swung out and just knifed someone in the face. Did not get punished for it. I mean, other than a bit of damage, but that was incredible to see. Now GE finds himself at the back foot. One player down already, no Sova. And Shiro, great to buy time, great to deny space and put in a bit of chip damage, but fortunately for GE, not gonna find anyone. They have the Cosmic Divide come through here and the Slasher! What? Shots to come through! Yokam to only find their KO as well, and now for Poppy, it's the last man standing, gonna get that off and just move out the way.
Yeah, really good round from Boom Esports here, but I think that there was a bit of a miscommunication there for Global Esports. Yunatown did put down his cage in that last second, but he chose not to pop it, and he got out of the smoke once without having, I think, the call of 1, 2, 3 swing being made, and that kind of, you know, maybe got the team to get the wrong idea that Yunatown's gonna hold on in the smoke and then we're gonna go in. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we've been playing the show matches for the last 3 days. We're gonna have another day come in tomorrow and want to follow that as well. And if you want to be notified about all of that, make sure you like and hit that subscribe button because that's the only way you'll know Global Esports is playing and you will be here on time to witness every single round possible. Coming back into the game, once again, Boom Esports looking for that mid bit of pressure, it seems. That flash good enough to keep Patrick off his mark, but he gets back to it. Famazine, does he want to challenge that again? No, they've left A-Short completely open for the moment as NT Slasher just hopping around in his spawn for information. Boom Esports playing on the extremities right now. They're going to let Global Esports take a good bunch of the map right now, and they're gonna actually aggress on A main. Poppy, I believe he was spotted. Famousy's gonna hold on to this angle, but no, never mind. Boom actually confused because Global actually haven't given them any piece of information whatsoever, except for this one little peek from Yuratan.
Trying this push and pull method, I think, from Boom Esports. One side aggressive, more passive toward B side. But Poppy is doing a good job of keeping quiet, keeping hidden, and Udo Tan to find Shiro. Yokam already from tree itself, spots one in the corner! DOS9 can't do anything, but NC Slasher, he's ready as ever. Buy some time with that fragment, but Famous wants to find the time here. Poppy runs for his life, trying to convene with his teammates, but unfortunately his timing not that right. But unfortunately for him, Poppy was already hurt that tailwind as Berserk's on side itself. Gonna deny Udotan any more space here.
Yeah, but they're crawling into the B side. That one-way cage is gonna hold them off for a couple of more seconds.
30 seconds.
But Poppy and Crystal, did they check this corner?
Spike down.
Sharp as ever, 7 seconds. Poppy has to skedaddle onto the side as well. 4. He's been tagged, and Berserk has done a good job of denying that plant. But still, Yokam gonna be able to walk away with at least the consolation prize of a kill.
Man, Global Esports, I felt like this could have come into play in the last 2-3 days. It didn't, but this is one thing I was afraid of, right? Them running down the clock in the hopes of the fact that Boom Esports, or any team for that matter, would just kind of, boil down their utility. Boom did it. They did give out so much util. They, pushed up towards A main. They dropped multiple smokes. Flashes were being committed by the KO as well as the Omen. And overall, it seemed like Global Esports had control of the map because they didn't commit anything anywhere except for Yuratan's little peek on B main. Even after getting the first few picks, the confusion started to rise. The fact that where should we go? Should we go A short? We've got to pick on A. We've got to pick on B. We had to push on A main. We've taken care of it. Both the players are dead. And already, by the way, Patrick, who was in heaven on the A site. But then the remaining 2 players were closer to B. They had 20 seconds left, and they're like, okay, you know what? We're going to have to commit it. We don't have time to rotate all the way and play with Patrick. So Patrick's going to have to join us later. Unfortunately for them, that one little tripwire and the hold off of Berserks to make sure that the B side is not going to be completely forgiven allowed Boom Esports to win this round. And it's gonna be a hard pill to swallow that Global Esports lost this round because they had everything in their hands. They had man advantage as well. But in the end, time ended up being their biggest enemy.
Have 2 ops, the hands of our 2 duelists here. Curious to see how this goes here. Positions are from tree, one from top mid. No peeks quite yet. Crystal. Peeks long, it might be in trouble. Position of the op noted already. I'm gonna try and move him out the way here. Have smokes. We have also the owl drone as well. Spots nothing onto a pizza.
Patrick getting up close. He does have a line of sight onto DOS, if at all. Yep, the spot comes through, and the smoke is going to be, of course, cause an effect on the behind of that point of information. But Boomies was not really too keen on making the rotations just yet. NC Flasher, now he finally makes his move. He's going to join up Famousyne towards that short region. And Crystal, it seems like his Recon's going to have to wait for a couple of more seconds because his teammates have been suppressed of their abilities. It's going to have to be Patrick to make this first contact happen, because if he doesn't find a pick with that op, it's going to have to be exchanged for him to run into the site.
You have the net. Trying to find anyone. Let's clear that corner. Oh, finds NC Slasher now. He finds Yokam on top. Choppy as well. Been tagged already from the Hunter's Fury, so he gets cleared.
30 seconds.
DOS9 gonna move out the way onto safety of Heaven. Famous. I still in front. And Crystal stood no chance. Boom Esports completely dominate this time around, catching up despite that huge lead made by Global Esports earlier.
Use everything you have.
Yeah, the read was perfect timed. I wouldn't say that it was Global Esports who had control of that game. They felt like they did almost at a time because they were playing really slow. They let control of B completely given up. And Boom were not too keen on pushing it. It just depended on NC Slasher's knife. The minute he got that first knife down towards A main, it slowed the attack of Global Esports because they were ready to jump in. 7 seconds went by. That gave so much time for the rest of the teammates from Boom Esports to just kind of come in closer towards A short, and then in the end it was just, you know, a game of rallying between A main and whether or not they would pop out through the smoke. And once again, Global Esports trying to redo that A hit, this time with a little more success. That little trip has been detected as Famazine prepares for the first shot.
Famous, lucky to be able to survive with his life. Explosive as ever, Global Esports. 10 pound already, but BME sharp as ever. Annihilation. Not gonna get anyone. Barely misses actually. The door will be closed. It's a nice bit more space for Boom Esports. Smokes all around as well. Op shots, just to give an idea that for Boom Esports, any peaks means the head blown to smithereens. Paranoia set up already. Gonna scatter the members of Global Esports, but not fast enough. Boom Esports took too much time to commit here. He'll come from the corner. Moves out the way. 54 HP left. Gonna have to find a high-low set up alongside Heaven, but Kelly has as well to find what's his name. Poppy, sharp, swap Swiss, the right click, and Poppy! This is the guy that'll be making waves in Naos, and he's making waves in Global Esports.
Yeah, the Clutch King once again strikes. That recon was absolutely beautiful from Boom Esports to cover off no matter any angle. Even that cage, Yudotan's just trying to protect himself between two thin lines of a Cypher cage. He just couldn't. And in the end, it had to be, of course, Poppy under Heaven. That double, you know, it's really great that his teammate there could pull off at least one kill before leaving that round. Because if it had been 3v1, Poppy, I don't think he would have been able to find that one because bullets were just running out of his, you know, the magazines from both weapons. And it was the last burst that he could have found from the Classic to clutch that round. Once again, Global Esports, Clutch Masters, showing how they can just keep their team in contention of any round, no matter what it is. Whether it's Crystal or Poppy, they've put their team in front once again. 5-7 as the half has now switched, and we are going to be heading in for Boom Esports now to have a quiet start to the game. Extreme commitment towards that A site in terms of Spike as well. It seems like the rotation is going to be towards that way. While the two players, Berserks and Shiro here, just kind of exhaust any of Global Esports' util. Crystal, ready with that scythe, forgive me, with the recon, but he's not going to fire it just yet. Going to wait for any sort of physical contact of bodies. Whereas the drone's been committed towards mid to, again, fake off the fact that this could be a B split.
Right here.
It's about trying to figure out where exactly to go, right? I mean, we see the Spike slowly making their way toward A. You have, you know, Udotan on one side already, Yokam on the other, Poppy here, waiting for the right time. And we actually mentioned that Boom Esports is one of those teams that are super explosive. And that's exactly what we thought. Famous walks up, shoots someone in the face, but Poppy tries to answer, can't survive more than that here. Udotan plays these angles to perfection. A single pixel out of Shop's place, excuse me, will be his downfall. As Shiro to answer. Now, for Crystal, trying to deny that plant. Shouldn't be having a problem too, as Kali S. Trying to take a little bit more space here. Berserk's knocked down already. Kali S with only 15 HP does fall. It's down to Crystal, but Shiro is the one, the IGL that will frag, and he is the one that comes up on top.
Yeah, pretty similar to how Global Esports played their rounds too. Yeah, because Boom Esports, they went towards B, gave a little bit of a touch and peek. They didn't really, you know, give off too much information there. Sent a drone towards mid to try and fake it out as a B split. Global Esports didn't really bite into that little piece of cake, but because they still had two players sitting on site. But that burst out with a number of flashes that they could provide. You know, the paranoia on generator, then the, you know, KO flash to come in as well. Just absolutely suffocated Patrick from doing anything, and Poppy was only good for one there. Once again, this time around, really quick on the move, it seems, Boom Esports. So a free A site and Global Esports, they've done this time and time again, where they've committed on the opposite side. Yeah, you know, most of their stacks haven't been that successful, but when they come on the retake from these stacks, they actually deal a lot of damage. So I'm excited to see what they've got in store here.
I think for Udotan, he's very, very aware that there's going to be one player that's sort of lurking toward this mid area here. Not too sure if the timing is right. Both of them not looking toward the mid area as well. So lurks will be denied. There we go, Udotan. Moves out the way. Oh my god! How do you do that? On top of that, an upgrade as well with a gun. Now on the side already here. Famous. Gonna play a little bit more back. Fortunately, will go down here. Anti-Slasher and DOS9 gonna find one each. Anti-Slasher, he puts some damage. More done already. Boom Esports completely annihilate despite the heroics from Urotan at mid.
Yeah. Well, they still will get away with most of their weaponry, so that's gonna be good for Boom Esports. They're not gonna lose out on too much, and now they've equaled up the rounds as well. 7-7, and Global Esports have their first bye round. What a shot from Muratan here. Amazing stuff.
Disgusting.
But yeah, insane. But now we're going to focus upon what's going to be happening in this round. We've got an Odin in place, and Crystal, he's not afraid to fire that weapon for days on end to keep control of this B side. He's going to push up Patrick as well.
Oh, that's massive! Yoka Urotan, that's the power of friendship. On top of that, wall bangs through, but it's Berserks to come up on top here. DOS9, Hoppy, sharp as ever. Answers back with a smoke.
Down A.
Almost gonna catch up. This round has been incredibly fast. Now Berserk's left all to his lonesome here. Yokam, eyes on him. Knows he's there. Walks straight into his crosshair. Now they're up to 8. You know, I'm kind of surprised at how close this game is, Universe.
It's not just that, right? I'm going to point out something here really similar. Boom and Global have a very similar playstyle. If you could notice the fact that they've got 3 on B with a spike with another person on A. They were waiting for the contact on B so that they can push up on A and give them more pressure. That's exactly what Global Esports do as well on their attacking side. They go as a triple to give off a big sounding attack on one side of the map and then push and pull on the other side to kind of make them feel uncomfortable. But Global Esports countered that perfectly. Reddit went on their own aggressive push, knowing that they've got multiple people who can frag out and just put the pressure back on Boom Esports. Once again, to try that, they're going towards the side. Yunatan's been pushed off his mark. He goes down to 56, but does have the Regent shield. So he's got 25 HP more on that shield. Back on him, and Yokam finds a completely outward Berserks trying to destroy a camera.
I'm loving this dynamic they have, you know? When one of them peeks out, the other just waits behind. A famous inside already. That paranoia does give dividends, but there's 3! They're waiting for him. Crystal has not put down that gun for quite some time. The Odin. They get the plant. All 4 over in heaven. Quick knife, some fragment as well to buy some time. Yoka forced back here. Takes quite a lot of damage as Shiro puts in the pain from hell. Not done quite yet here. DOS9 displaying a very dangerous angle here. We have a lot of utility come through here. DOS9 to fall, at least gets one to his name. But from main as well, Anti-Slash has marked that area. The flash is so good right now, and Boom Esports, they are here to play.
Well, that is a round from Boom Esports that they desperately needed. Had lost a couple of players in
Someone had
positions.
to go
Famous went in too deep on the behind of that flash, thinking he could get away with at least one there, but found nothing. But in the end, it had to be Slasher and Shiro to clutch out the round. The backbones of Boom Esports are currently holding strong, keeping it level-headed. 8-8, and Boom Esports now looking for an aggressive A hit, it seems. Smoke goes out towards mid. The knife's going to come in early as well. One-way smoke to prevent them from the moment. Once again, Patrick pushes up towards B. He's alone there, but the cage is going to prevent him from getting any more information. Gives out a bit of pressure, saying, yeah, we're here. We're a couple of stray bullets, but A main is going to be where Boom Esports' all attention is not going to dive for it.
Deploying drone.
Drone comes out here. Hunter's Fury as well. Crystal quick to answer. Look at the amount of damage he's put in one of the players for Boom Esports there. DOS9 rendered quite low already in this one-way smoke. Gonna try and wait it out, and as soon as the smoke falls, they have a flash, and there's another wall to deal with as well. Boom Esports. That A side is almost like a safe. Incredibly hard to break into. But all eyes are to mid area here. Hirokam. I suspect there's going to be one player playing to it. Here it might be Berserks. That cage has been letting him sort of like roam around that area without being seen. But Kelly S here just gonna be quickly throwing some utility out, but Famous is gonna quickly find his head and see Slasher as well. Crystal try to get some headshots through the smokes, couple of pot shots, nothing more. Yokam's timing could be massive, but it's Berserks. I'm not sure how he got the timing right.
He got
Not
it.
done quite yet.
Perfect.
One enemy.
Listen here, Berserk's playing so carefully. Crystal fighting me. Crystal, what is that? 3 already. The 2 more to worry about.
One enemy
On the
remaining.
top side of the area, he's got 4. But NC Slasher, Boom Esports, the power of friendship, a bit high. But Crystal, what on earth happened there? Just look at this.
Man, okay, I'm gonna enjoy watching this again. The 1, the 2,
my
the 3.
God.
A nightmarish 4th and a 5th that just could not be attained, and that's gonna call
That
in a
timeout is-
timeout from Juvenile.
Yeah. They really needed that timeout. I mean, despite the heroics from Crystal, right? It felt like everything was falling apart here. It felt like, the Boom Esports. I mean, again, when we talk about the beginning of the game, Boom Esports have always been a team that kind of warms up a bit later, right? They take maybe 5, 6 rounds, but once they're hot, they're hot, and we're starting to see that. And Boom East and Global Esports are starting to struggle.
There is one thing that is pretty evident about this global esports comp. Of course, they have no flashes, right? So on the flip side of it, they depend on that deadlock utility to hold off these angles as much as they can, because the flash coming in means that the team's gonna rush in instantly. So the grenade that they've got to make the player sit down holds them off. The stuns hold them off, and that's exactly why Kelly S, the minute he threw that, the flash came in his face, the paranoia, he threw the grenade to cover off A main to stop from anybody coming in, and then went back towards short because he knew the split's coming in, and he's got a stun there, ready to take on that fight if it comes to. Unfortunately for him, he couldn't win that fight. Famazine got him just a second before he was dazed off, and that's what's given Boom Esports the advantage. So Global Esports need to be a little bit more careful about these aggressive angles that they play, because Juvenile had mentioned it multiple times that he does not believe in retakes as much, because his squad is playing an agent comp that depends solely and a lot more on the fact that they just hold the sides down. They don't let the opponents come anywhere close, because retake, they don't have that much utility in terms of how they can come back into a site.
Yeah, that's the Cypher lock hope for you. Now coming in here, Kelly S gonna go aggressive here. 1 headshot is all he needs. Plays perfectly with the recon dart. 2 already to their names. Aggressive all around. Famous from mid. Gets up with so much space here, but it's gonna be Famous to put in the numbers. 2 to his name already. An updraft forward, finds no one, checking around. Now, Global Esports coming in through mid side. NC Slasher, the knife delay. The door will be closed here. And playing retake is not going to be easy, especially with that weaponry. But still, not impossible. Famous. 1 peek is all he needs here. Kelly S moves out the way. On the side already, the window broken means that sound cues they can work with, but Udotan will be completely obliterated. A recon up forward here, Crystal. Guardian in hand. But for Boom Esports, they're okay to give up that space on Heaven. In fact, Famous will go for a double dip. Waiting up top here, that will be 2. But he's good for 1. Can go for more. Crystal putting up numbers. Heavy hitter, last round. Insane shots, insane plays, but time, this time not on his side.
Nice.
And DOS9 said, let me just quickly end the game for you. And they hit a 10 for Boom Esports.
Yeah, Boom Esports playing really well in these last couple of rounds. The set plays have been amazing. The flash, executes have been on point. The split timings and everybody just kind of the way they're, positioning themselves for these fights has been immaculately good. And I really feel like Global Esports are feeling the pressure in the sense that they are not able to hold off these angles that they previously did against Rare Atom. Because Boom are finding the openings on places where Global Esports thought that these flashes would not affect them as much, but that paranoia from DOS9 has been absolutely paramount to their success so far. At least the last 4 rounds out of the 6 have been because DOS9 has gotten that beautiful flash that's given every single time his team the opportunity to kind of just flush you to the side.
Don't push this, don't push this. Just hold.
Boom Esports.
Just hold.
All eyes on B main here. And I think they're super aware that there's gonna be Yokam, or at least 1 member of, of Global Esports playing a little more aggressive here. Peaked, they go down. Berserks will be the first victim. Now for Boom Esports, Have Famous also with an up in hand, but it's Yokum to come up on top here. He went for double dips and still wanted it. Come on, hello?
That's what he does, it seems. DOS9 has taken the opportunity of that little discouragement of his team to move in towards A, and that's the rest of his team coming in as well from short. Shiro's been spotted, and so has another. There goes the Paranoia, and he's tagged up as well. And it's all onto Crystal, and Yura-san to save this site.
Unotan already here that he sprays is so good. Unotan playing off of each other is just massive here. Having your teammate become a distraction while you just slowly make your way onto site. Poppy is just so on point with what we can expect in terms of teamwork, in terms of how to play together with your friends here. Global Esports this time seem to have it down pat.
Yeah, of course, once again, the fact that they, took out the operator in this round suggested a great, clearance towards that B site, and no utility committed by Boom, by the way, to actually get information. They just dry swung that,
So if
side,
dry
of course,
swung
why wouldn't he come back for a second after a successful first?
So I should have
Patrick.
droned.
He's really antsy, and he does love his aggressive peaks, but it seems like Boom are doing something similar once again.
This is a very, very quick take. Hunter's Fury as well used. A Poppy from the depths of hell to find one. But Kelly's as well. But DOS9, he does DOS9 things with that Sheriff 2 to his name. Unotan from Heaven's side as well. We'll try to wallbang. DOS9 can't win it in the end. Shiro to find one. Yokum! What were those shots? 2 quick knives to the face to save the round. And they hit a 10 Global Esports. They're here to play.
Reset your aim.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of a contingency plan here. What's put into place the fact that, Patrick had to come in and take out the knives and just go for a hero play here. But I feel like the one and only problem that Global Esports has was a little bit of a miscommunication on site, the players who were there. Poppy and Kelly kind of in different positions. Where exactly he's been found. The recon got him out as well. And then they just couldn't support each other. They had to fight their own battles. And that threw them off guard. And that's why they had to rely on Yokum to come out. And now, Global Esports have let Global Esports coming a little too close. 10-10. It's up to who wins this one particular round, because it could settle the game right here, or at least give match point. They're going to take in mid this time, Boom Esports, crawling in slow. Did commit a couple of flashes. Smoke's going to go in deep. And it seems that the game plan's changed. Crystal gonna spot out 2, actually 3. He heard 3 bullets being fired, and that's a lot of information for Global Esports, as they actually right now have a stack on that A side. And look at the utility surrounding Patrick on that B side.
So mid area here, Berserk's making quite a ruckus here. Kelly S position himself in a little bit more aggressive area. There's so much utility pushed out, broken already. Time dwindling down here. Boom Esports needs to make a pick onto a side and fast.
30 seconds left.
He's dead.
Revealing area.
And there they attack.
Here we go. Already on the side, Famous for one, Shiro for one more. A perfect execution forward as well, and Crystal, as well as the rest of Global Esports, not able to handle how overwhelming the firepower is, leaving Yokum all alone here. His position will be noted with that trip as well. He breaks it. They're going for a hunt here. Only an up in hand. His location has been revealed as well. Has to move out the way. That camera has been a thorn in his side. And he's getting crunched from 2 different angles. Goes for 1, but here comes Famous as he gets 3.
It was a site where we had the stack, man. I could have expected, all of us were probably expecting them to hold on to this, but they tumbled across like bowling pins here. It was absolute chaos, because the way Boom Esports is committed members on the back of one singular flash, and of course, that Hunter's Fury, Famazine did all the work once again. He was in first, he was in taking that contact, created the space, and Poppy did deploy the gravity well to stop that push from A main, but unfortunately for him, most of the attack came in from short. Kelly S wasn't prepared for it. He thought that A main's going to be the point of contact, and exactly why Global Esports just kind of crumbled down from that A short attack.
Look at that. And so much information elimination. Yokam from the smokes will be punished at least, but that's enough info.
Nice.
Got enough util out as well as Kelly S to just completely wallbang him out to smithereens. The recon will be broken.
3 guns.
The rest of Global Esports positions themselves onto mid-side area here. Shiro,
The
not
guns.
too sure if he's seen them quite yet. But they're still trying to go for it here. All eyes on mid here. Neural Theft already gave away their position. Dwindles down to HP, but Boom Esports, firepower overwhelming with the amount of guns pointed toward Poppy.
I feel like Global Esports could have been a little more patient there. Let Boom Esports escape away to that A site. Because you've got 2-3 weapons down in the middle there, and you've got 3 players who are playing on pistols. So you could have actually given them a little bit of space, let Boom Esports take that A site, cross over from mid, go towards short, and then pick up those weapons and follow them. Have a better fighting chance with these weapons. You had everything in your hand, but Global Esports, they decided for a team fight. It's not a bad decision. It was just a decision that had a disadvantage to them in terms of firepower, and they bear the brunt of it. They're now against match point.
Boom Esports trying to quickly wrap this up if they can. Gonna be a pizza push now, but I've never really seen too much of pressure coming from Global Esports onto the mid area. They're more focused on making sure that the site does not get breached here. Yes, less aggressive position, but that's the key here. Less aggressive, but kind of throwing out your util on contact. They do break that wall. Now for GE, they position themselves all the way into Boathouse, back of sight. Puts in a bit of chip damage, but not enough to knock someone down. A lot of pressure inside of Smoke's Famous. Quickly finds one as DOS9 with that shorty to put in the damage. 3 on 5. A tall mountain to climb for Global Esports. But not down and out quite yet. DOS9 positions himself a bit of an off angle here. Udotan keeping quite safe. Forced out the way. You do have that Cosmic Divide as well. Yokap, what a swing and a peek as well onto Famous. Just threw in those smokes. DOS9 making a damage. Poppy to find one as well. His teammates close. But time not on their side here. They need to make this quick and fast. Finds one in the corner. The crossfires are huge. And Boom Esports are the one to take the first map. Ascent goes to them.
That was a convincing round there. Changing up their plan in the absolute final round where they knew that they needed to kind of, throw Global Esports off their mark. Even though they did make an adjustment, they kind of read into it. Kelly did realize that the B hit is going to be coming in. Unfortunately, his utility was just not on the right level to kind of hold them off. Global Esports' whole plan surrounding this roster is that they don't let them take site. They don't play on retakes. They do not let them take site. But the one and only issue that they probably did not read into is how powerful those paranoias are going to be from the Omen. Because honestly, that 21 assist number that DOS9 is currently sitting pretty with, I think out of that, at least 15 are just because of paranoia pushes off and kills. It is absolutely incredible how impactful that Omen was in this game, because he did everything for his team to set them up in the right places. One paranoia was all they needed to kind of establish how far they can get into a side on attack. And even on defense, when they were trying to, take control of certain positions on the retakes, he was doing the job for them. I'm going to give credit to even Berserks, because he was doing quite a bit of the heavy lifting as well. You can see that the team in the first half was kind of trailing. They were not able to pick up as much of the pace as they would have wanted to. But across that second half, like you said, Boom, they're kind of a second half esports team. They, usually tend to warm up towards the second half, right? So they play for the late game and they win in the late game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Boom Esports. They take some time to warm up. They take some time to just really ease themselves into the game. And once they are, it's almost incredible watching them play. They have a lot of firepower. They're actually fighting fire with fire, understanding how aggressive global esports could be, even on the defensive side. And they're understanding how exactly they want to approach taking up that space on the second half. I think that coming into this one, it's been really good looking at them. But in this particular situation, global esports were just not able to really understand or just deal with how overwhelmingly strong the firepower was coming in from Boom Esports as well. So kudos to them. But otherwise, it's a pretty close game if you ask me.
I mean, towards the tail end of this game, the tangent kind of skewed towards Boom Esports for a particular reason, right? In the first, if you notice in the first few rounds of the second half, Boom Esports, yeah, they won the first 2. But then, Global Esports started going in the front foot themselves. They start doing what they do on attack. They take microsectors into their hands. They push up B main, they take control as a trio or as a duo, and they put the pressure on Boom, right? And they also did that when they needed a round in desperation, where Yokam was handed the operator, and he got 2 on that round, right? Really important positions that they put their duelist in, or they put a triple stack in where they go and take control. But in the last 3, maybe 4 rounds where they lost out of the game, you saw they were stacking A, did not go for control, playing on site, letting Boom Esports come to them, kind of, skewing away from how they usually play their game. So there's these small little intricacies where Kelly S might have made the call to, okay, you know what, guys, let them come to site. But the problem with playing on site is the fact that that paranoia is absolutely killing you. You are getting absolutely crippled because 2 of your players are not able to support you, and you're losing out on map control on the microsectors that you need to always keep in your hand. For example, the biggest, I think, the part on that A side, Generator. Every single time, Gen was in control of Boom Esports. The paranoia comes through. How are you going to stop it? How are you going to fight it? You're going to have a paranoia come in, you go behind Gen, Famazine dashes in, and you got 3 players swinging from A main. You can't do anything about that. You need to have a contingency plan to stop that paranoia from coming in. And how are you going to do that? By going aggressive, baiting it out early on, finding what Boom's game plan is. Because that they were doing really well in the first half, baiting Boom's utility. But towards the end, again, Global Esports went 1 step behind from their usual game plan and let Boom take control of the game.
Yeah, I think even on situations where, it's a retake, I understand they want to play on that side itself, but I do agree with you about the paranoia, about that corner. They don't have a lot of space to work with. In the beginning, yeah, they had these nice crossfires set up, but when you have a situation where Boom Esports is able to crunch you from 2, 3 different areas, you can see the contingencies, right? How much respect they have for GE, even when it's against one player just trying to save that up. They're making sure that they have all grounds covered, just making sure that they have a crossfire set up, making sure that they're coming in from 2 different areas, not allowing themselves to be isolated. We saw that in the beginning, but it was just off that one timeout, we see everything is completely changed the way the Boom Esports plays, which is why I agree with you. They are second half esports at one point, but once they are, if there is one word I would have said over and over again about Boom Esports, going against them is like going against a rampaging bull. They just completely rush at you out of nowhere from downtown, and you would not have expected it. And this happened so many times to Global Esports. They were okay with playing on site. They were okay with playing, together in one little corner. But again, it's just maybe that one paranoia, that one fragment. And then suddenly you see a crunch from 2 different places. Famous coming in from the other side of Gen. And you have his teammate coming in from the other. And it's so scary how they approach these things, because you cannot fight back. You cannot expect trade potential from your teammates.
Absolutely. That little GE style of play, it's kind of phasing in and out. So they're, trying to settle into it as much as they can. Of course, it's a new team, so you would expect them to take a little bit of time. But the thing is that they're showing flashes of it in some rounds, having like maybe 3-4 rounds where it goes that certain way, and then they kind of, fall back. I understand you have, of course, you can't play every single round as, the way that you played the previous one. You cannot keep doing that. But it's the style that's been helping you. And Kelly S has, a lot of good calling so far in the games that he's played. But I want to hear from Juvie what exactly happened. How exactly did the game plan change in those last couple of rounds? Why was Global Esports playing a lot more passive? Juvie, please explain to us what exactly happened. You're muted again.
We can't hear Juvenile
It's not
again.
me. It's not me.
Yeah, you're good.
You're right.
It's not me. I promise. It's not. I swear it's not me. All right.
Okay,
It's
so let's talk about game number 1.
Yeah, go on.
We just pressure gets to you at the end. You start making individual mistakes. Start playing a little too individualistic. The word I couldn't say earlier. And yeah, I mean that happens. We definitely threw around. We got ecoed one round, and that's sort of recent. Like on attack, we were up 5-0, right, or whatever it was, and then we got ecoed or 5-1. And we got ecoed. Once you get the eco point, you give them some momentum. Then they have a little bit of momentum. Our money drops a little bit, and that's what happened on the attack side. And then on defense, they just kept rushing A. We couldn't do anything about it. Partially that's my fault. I should have called a better adjustment. On defense, because I think now I sort of know what we should have done. But yeah, I mean, we're learning. We're all learning. Everybody's learning.
Okay, so can you share with me something? Now you've seen how overwhelming the firepower coming through from, from Boom Esports has been. Now you are running a Cypher Lock, right? For Cypher Lock, what is the biggest? Why did you go with Cypher Lock exactly for this map, and why not the usual standard? What's the idea behind it?
This comp has been doing really well for us. I've ran this comp last season with Lev. This comp beats meta comp most of the time. We just played it badly. That's it.
Okay, I mean, I wouldn't say it's badly. You guys did have an idea in mind how exactly to play it, but give me some pros and cons here. I mean, you did say just now it did beat some comps last year, and I think you're excited to see this comp adapted everywhere. Now you wanna expect a better, like I would say, a defensive side, right? But how would you exactly approach your attacking side here with this comp?
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, this comp is actually attack-sided, more than defensive-sided. Pretty consistently, you can get like 8-9 rounds on attack pretty easy. And defense sometimes struggles depending on, what the other team does. Obviously, these guys just kept rushing A. It felt like the majority of the map. They don't have much information. They have to peek with their bodies. You walk contact and you win. That's pretty much how it goes.
Jimmy, you did have a pretty good game plan the first couple of rounds on defense, right? The team was being a little more proactive. You guys, sent out that, that double push that you get, the triple as well towards B main mostly, where you find, control of that sector. You kind of, make Boom Esports feel uncomfortable. But towards the tail end of the game, the team started playing a lot more on site. They were playing a lot more defensive. They let Boom Esports take control of the main regions of both sides. What exactly happened? Was it a calling thing from Kelly S, or did you give any instructions for them to start playing a little more passive during the timeout? What happened in the last couple of rounds?
No, I mean, like I said, just pressure, man. Just pressure gets to you sometimes. It's something that we got to work on. That's one of the reasons for these show matches is for us to get used to, quote unquote pressure and playing under these pressure situations. The big thing is, like they just kept executing A, man. We could have done a little bit more proactiveness in the mid. Could have pushed down mid. Could have killed the Cypher from mid pretty easily instead of always doing the B main stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few things probably we could have done differently, but we'll watch this VOD back and we'll make those adjustments.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the second map here coming up. Do you have any expectations on what to expect and what you want to do here?
Yeah, I mean, what we did last time we played Split, obviously last time we played Split was a lot cleaner than the first time we played Split. I think if we play how we're supposed to, we do what we're supposed to, like, we should win, right? Boom is obviously a good team. They obviously have great players, but, so do we.
All right, Juvie, you've got one more game coming up. Split, they do play a pretty interesting comp there as well. They play in with the Sky, which of course is a little, kind of a sort back to the old-fashioned way. And they play a single duelist race. How are you looking to